Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Andrew Michaels, and I am here to help you. Today is June 14th, the day before Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to everyone, and I guess it's somebody's birthday, but I believe in no kings, and there will be no kings over me. There just won't. Too many people have fought too long and too hard to give me this voice, this platform, and this opportunity to talk to all of you. And this isn't a me problem. This is a we problem, because if we go down with this continued erosion of people's civil rights into this authoritarian wannabe dictatorship that we're somehow caught up in, the rest of the world is screwed, including you out there in places that you think you're immune to it. Like China, for instance. China depends on us as much as we depend on them with our global economy. Nobody will be immune from this if the United States goes down. And I implore each and every one of you, no matter where you are or who you are, to protest today. Peacefully, calmly protest and let your voice be heard. You don't have to raise your voice to say no kings, but together our voices can rise above the chatter. People have a right to protest. They have a right to disagree. I thought that was the whole idea here. People didn't agree with what was going on in this country, so they voted for some change. Now that they've got the change, they seem to have a problem with people voicing their opinions. It seems like if you don't agree with somebody and have a different opinion, you're being a subversive or a leftist or a radical. These kind of things are called words, and words have meanings, and words can hurt. And in this case, they can hurt a lot of people just by whole carpet saying that these people are such and such and writing them off. You have the opportunity to control the narrative, and the narrative is that they're not true patriots, that we're not true Americans, that we're not truly good people, that we're bad people, that we're leftists and radicals and subversives and traitors. I don't even think these people know what any of these words actually mean. I've been a member of labor unions my whole life. I've benefited from that, and I've also been screwed in the ass by that. It's what you make of it. It doesn't make me a leftist, it doesn't make me a communist, and it doesn't make me a socialist. I'm a hardworking American. I've worked and outworked everyone I know. I've only met 2 or 3 people on this entire planet that can work harder than I can in my prime, and I'm burned out. I'm broken down. I don't have much left in the way of a physical body. I'm a wreck, but I'm still more than a man than most of these people that are basically shitting down on our American flag, shitting down on all the memories of all the veterans that have come before me and fought, died to give these freedoms to us. And now we're just going to throw it all away. We're going to throw it all away for a puppet. And that's what it is, a puppet. And if you get rid of this puppet, there's one right behind him. And he's got more strings on him than the first one. And if you don't like what I'm saying, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And if you don't like this kind of video and you live in a different part of the world, I'm sorry. I'm I'm so sorry. But we have to, sooner or later in this world, say enough is enough and take a stand. I have been to many protests in Youngstown, Ohio, in Federal Plaza, trying to combat some due process violations that happened. I can't remember the man's name, but he's back in the United States. He was taken out of this country illegally without due process, and he was returned to the United States, and now he's facing federal charges in some state somewhere that they trumped up against him. Whether they're true or not, he is presumed innocent until it's proven guilty in a court of law. And I can tell you one thing, the person accusing him was convicted in a court of law and is a felon and did pardon insurrectionists that were on his side. So I don't see the other side doing these things. I see a felon doing it, a convicted felon. And it isn't going to get better for a long time. If this destroys my channel, if this destroys who I am, if I end up in a gulag somewhere or an internment camp over this, I'm still going to have my voice be heard, because I will not listen to this shit any longer without being heard on my platform, my voice. And this was given to me by you, the people. And that's the whole problem here. I earned this right. I was given certain rights that are inalienable, that all men and women have the right to have. But what I'm doing right now, I worked for it. I earned every bit of this. I took it hard every step of the way. I didn't have it easy. I had to work for every single thing that I have in life. I had to work 10 years to get my house. I had to work over 10 years to get to where I'm at right now on this channel. I took 30 years of my life away to raise my 3 children. I raised them with every ounce of energy and strength and hard work that I had put into it. And I raised 3 beautiful, perfect children. Perfect. What parent could be more proud than I am of my 3 independent, strong-willed, fantastic, beautiful children? Strong is the day is long, and I have nothing to be ashamed of, and I have nothing to back down to, and I have nothing holding me back anymore. No threat, no anything. You want to take my job away? Take it. You want to take my house away? Take it. You want to put me in chains? Put me in chains. You want to kill me? You want to hang me? You want to silence me? Do it. I don't care anymore. And I'm trying to tell all of you this. I'm trying to show all of you this. I'm trying to teach all of you this, that they do not have a control that they think they have. Their control over what the narrative is and what's going on right now is tenuous at best. When I was a child, there was 3 networks in the United States, and probably in the UK too. There was ABC, CBS, NBC, and then you had a 4th channel called PBS, which was public broadcasting, which was basically government run. And you got most of your news from newspapers, and 30 minutes of news on the evening news. You got 30 minutes of world news, and they replayed it sometimes at 11:30, and that was it. They really controlled the narrative back then. They forced us to recite the Lord's Prayer in school, in public schools. I did when I was a child. They forced us to say the Pledge of Allegiance, which was some pseudo-patriotic thing that they invented to force all of us to prove we're patriots. You know, you can't just be a patriot. You have to prove you're a patriot. You have to prove you're a good Christian. You have to prove you worship the right God. You have to prove that you're loyal to the leader, you know. And that's what they're all about. Well, who is your Savior? Do you believe Jesus Christ is your Savior and freed you from all your sins? You have to answer that properly, or you're not part of the same team. You're not part of the gang. You're not part of our clique. You're not part of our cult. And I will have none of it. I will have nothing to do with it. And I can say all this with no fear, no tremor in my voice, no sadness in my heart. That orange Jesus out there right now, who's strutting around, who dodged the draft, who's smeared veterans, and who has called everybody that opposes him foul names, he isn't going to win. Eventually he will lose. He has lost in the past, and he's a sore loser. He is a horrible, sore loser. And he is a dangerous, sore loser. And Sky Daddy is not going to come down out of heaven and save him. The history of this planet and the history of our race is full of people like him. And what happens to them is usually they're shot down in a square or hung by their feet with their wife right beside them for everybody to see. And just in the last 50 years, how many of people like that have we seen go that route versus their successes? And it ain't going to be any better for that prick over in Russia, or that prick in North Carolina, or that group of pricks in Iran. It's going to go bad, and it's going to go south for all of them. And things are going to go south for Israel too, because they don't know how to get along with anybody. They never did. They never will. I'm not pro-Palestinian. I'm not against Palestine. I don't care. I live in the United States of America, and I don't understand why. We know these people don't get along. We know they're all a bunch of jerks. We know they all want to kill each other. Why don't we just let them go and be done with it? Maybe we'd all be better off if they all killed each other, because they obviously hate each other. And that's not a bad political statement. And that's not anti-Semitic. They hate each other. They want to kill each other. They don't like each other. And they put us in the middle of it all the time to distract from what's really going on, to distract from what they're doing to us every day. You're being harmed. You're being hurt every day. Your standard of living is sliding every day because, in many, many ways, through increased costs from pharmaceuticals to gas to everything else around you, to repairs on your cars, everything. And the reason all these things are happening is because everybody wants to be the biggest tough guy in the world. Everybody wants to be this fake-ass tough guy that wants to rule the world. And they're willing to do it on top of your child, your sons, and your daughters' blood and bodies. They don't care. 1 million dead. 1 million dead in 3 years in this Ukrainian-Russian war. He doesn't care. Putin doesn't care. 1 million dead on the Russian side alone. We don't even know how many Ukrainians have died, how many civilians, how many babies, how many women, how many people have been orphaned on both sides. They don't care. They don't care. He doesn't care. Because if you cared, you wouldn't do it. If people cared, they wouldn't do it. And I understand that Israel deserves its sovereignty, and they deserve their day to be living in peace and tranquility amongst their neighbors. But I don't think they want it. I don't think they really care this time. They have a government that's hell-bent on causing as much mayhem and destruction and murder as they can. And the other side is all too willing to give them exactly what they want. We have the wrong people in charge. It's never been this bad in a long time. We have got to wake up as a people of the world, and realize we have the wrong people in charge. They are not keeping our best interests at heart. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. And they certainly don't give a crap about your children. They don't. When's the last time a rich man was worried about how you paid your bills? I'm sure it happens all the time. Well, how'd you pay your electric bill this month? I'm really concerned. They don't care. Should they care? I don't know. They got wealthy. They worked hard. I'm not wealthy, but I take care of my own. I take care of myself. I worked hard for it. Should I worry about the guy down the street that doesn't have it as good as me? I don't know. But we do have safety nets are supposed to be in place to help that guy. I voted for that. I paid for that. I pay a lot of taxes for that. It seems like everybody in my group pays their fair share of taxes and pays their dues and pays their way in life, but it seems like other people don't feel they need to pay or have to pay or want to pay. They don't think they have to pay. They don't think they have to care about their neighbors. They don't think they have to care about the streets they drive on. I love this attitude where we don't have to take care of that. We don't have to take care of that. Education doesn't matter. Let's just get rid of the schools. Let's just get rid. We don't have to pay for streets and street signs and street lamps and all that stuff. Yeah, sure. Let's see how quickly our whole world erodes when you can't even drive down the street. Your kid can't even go get an education. And, I'm going to insult a lot of people right now, but I am so sick and tired of this backwards, anti-science bullshit in the United States of America. It makes me sick. When we had our space program in the 60s, it was driven by men who were God-fearing Christian men. All the astronauts, I think all the astronauts that went on Apollo were Christians. I really believe that. That's how they were raised. That's who they were back then. For God's sake, they read the Bible when Apollo 8 circumvented the earth on Christmas night. They read from Genesis, the book of Genesis. Buzz Aldrin, the second man, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were the first two men on the moon. And they did land on the moon. There's overwhelming evidence of it. There's spaceships have taken pictures of it. Now, today, there are photos of the landing site by other countries. And when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon, Buzz Aldrin he performed a communion, a religious statement, a Christian statement, to sit back now, 50-something years later, and go, it didn't happen. It was some conspiracy, the Satanists, science is bad, the earth is flat, the world's 6,000 years old. Noah's Ark took all these little animals across they only had one window in the ark. I'm sorry, but you're being completely brainwashed. You're being completely brainwashed. The earth is not 6,000 years old. It's billions of years old. We know that. The universe is ancient, beyond our comprehension. It's hard to even comprehend it. Noah's Ark never happened. We can tell genetically, we can tell geologically, we know it never happened. The Great Flood never happened. The Ark, if you actually read the book, you have to read the book. I've read the book 5 or 6 times. It never happened. There was only one little window in it, with all those animals pissing and shitting and defecating and killing and eating each other on that ark. One window. They would have suffocated from carbon monoxide, from methane poisoning. They would have drowned in piss, the little animals. It didn't happen. The Tower of Babel never happened. We know how languages evolved on this planet. Adam and Eve never happened. There was no genetic Adam and Eve either. We know that. We know where we came from. We know the genetics of the entire planet. We're all connected. We're all one race. We are all one people. They don't like that. They don't want you to know that. That's the secret. The secret isn't hidden knowledge that they're trying to keep you from knowing that the world is actually flat. They're trying to prevent you from knowing that the earth is actually only 6,000 years old. We have trees in Utah, a clonal tree forest that's older than they think the planet is. Pando forest of white fir trees are older than the creationists think the planet even is. That's been around longer than they think the planet has ever even existed. The universe has even existed. Do you understand the farcity here? The embarrassment, the outright incredulity that you have to deny all these facts. And you do it because you want to believe and you want to follow some fake-ass orange Jesus to the grave. You want to follow him to where the end goes. And the end is death. And the end is destruction and murder and people being harmed and families being destroyed. Right now, families are being, for the last 8 to 10 years at least in this country, families have been being torn apart left and right and destroyed over religion and politics in this country because people are hell-bent on bringing the end times to reality. They think that that's some solution to their problem, that some brown person who's working, picking freaking strawberries in Green Township in Ohio is the reason why their daughter got pregnant, or the reason why their son is smoking pot, or the reason why they're addicted to Oxycontin. And they think that some brown person who's working in a ham factory, sending Sugardale hams to a Giant Eagle in a Walmart near you, is the reason their old lady left. Nobody wants to take ownership of the fact that you're an idiot, that you're an uneducated dork that didn't take the time to learn anything, that you didn't take the time to figure out how the world works. Pick up a book, pick up another book, and then pick up another book. How hard is it? You know, and I'm sorry if these things hurt. I'm sorry if these things make you angry. But the old lady didn't leave you because brown people are jumping over a fence at the Rio Grande. The old lady left you because you're an idiot. Or she's an idiot. One or the other. Maybe you're both idiots. Sorry. Life sucks sometimes. But asserting a king, asserting a God on earth in the form of an orange Jesus isn't going to help. It's not going to save you. It's not going to save us. It's not. And Sky Daddy's not going to come down and fix it either. In some miraculous rapture, because that's only 2,000 years late. If you read the book, it doesn't even apply to us. You can take wisdom from any book. There are 10, 20, 30 different extremely well vetted religious books that you can pull all kinds of wisdom from. But I got news for you. Revelations, the New Testament, was about those people back then, and the prophecies failed, and he is not coming to save you. The only person that's going to save your ass is you. The only person that's going to save our ass is us. And history has dictated that over and over and over and over again. After Pearl Harbor, the only person that saved us was us. Nobody came to our rescue, kids. Mommy and Daddy were scared out of their asses, out of their wits when the Japanese invaded and attacked Pearl Harbor. And the only people that got us out of it was us. After 9/11, when things went to shit, the only person that got us out of where we were at was us. And I don't think we're living in that great a version of the world right now. How many people have we had to kill to protect us? When does the killing stop and we start trying to figure this stuff out? I know there's a number out there. I know there's a number that you can kill enough people that Putin will stop that war in Ukraine. There's a number that when you reach that number, he will have to stop. He will quit. He will back down. But he hasn't reached it yet. And you need to sober up, and you need to realize the only people that are going to get us out of where we're at right now is us. And I'm sorry if you feel I've smeared or insulted your religion. But there's a time for it, and there's a time when you have to think and put it aside and realize you're being duped. And you're being duped. And they're hurting you for it. And I'm ashamed that I live in a world where I have to sit down and do this. I am. I am ashamed. I have hope for better days. I have a hope that my voice will be heard by a few, that my message will spread and spread, and that we all know that you can't silence people like me any more than I can silence people like you that are watching right now that are so angry that I dare oppose what you stand for. I'm sorry. But we both know that if you destroy that holy book and you destroy all the science books, 2,000 years from now, a new religious book will pop up. But the science books will look exactly like the old ones, with a new chapter on how we destroyed our civilization for nothing. They threw away all their progress, everything they gained, and all they worked for nothing. The current people in this world that build your iPhones, build your smart cars, and build your weapons of mass destruction, among many things, that give you miraculous healings and medications and procedures and medical treatments. Those same people stand on the shoulders of all the giants that came before them, all the men and women who fought tooth and nail to improve things, all the women who stood by and watched their babies die and screamed for better days. And nothing came down to save them. It was science that came and saved those babies. It was science that made mortality rates go down and lives and longevity go up. Clean water, clean air, clean food, vaccinations, medical treatments, medical scanning, preemptive medical treatment, food programs, modern farming. These are the things that made your life better. And it was all through technology, and it was all through science. Yes, there were men that said, God, give me the strength. God, give me the knowledge. God, show me the way. But at the end of the day, it was these two hands that made it happen. And you know that. In your heart, you know that. Come on. You know that. I'm not telling you something you don't already know. Nothing I've said is new. Nothing I've said is earth-shattering. Nothing I've said is going to be clipped and showed to be some new wisdom for the ages. But if we don't keep talking, then we all lose. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. That is the truth. Now listen to me. Listen to an old man that knows. I've read enough. I've studied enough. There is no hidden knowledge. There is no hidden science or hidden secrets to this universe. It's all right at your fingertips. You can go on and you can type it in to Google. And you can go down the rabbit holes of conspiracy, pseudoscience, and religion. And keep putting on your God goggles. You ever hear that before? Put on your God goggles, and you can look at the world through that. But it's all still right there. All the science, all the progress, all the history is right there. And history dictates that now, times like now, we need to speak up. We need to push back, and we need to be heard. And we will have no kings over us. No earthly kings, no heavenly kings. We will have no kings over us. And the only people that can fix this problem are you and I. It just doesn't go away unless we take a stand. And we just say enough is enough. My God, they're coming after people in our own country. When's enough enough? When is enough enough? How many women have to die? How many babies have to die? What's that number? How many men have to die? How much of a filthy racist do you have to be before you've had enough? Tell me the number. I want the number. I want Orange Jesus to go out on a podium and strut around like the big fat ass that he is. And I want him to wave his little hand like the little king that he is. Like Robin Williams said, it come from this, but it's this, but it come from this. Nothing but a big jerk off. And I want him to give us the number. What number would make you happy? What number would satisfy your hunger, your desire? What number? When you'd call quits to all this. I need you to think about that today. And if you listen to this whole video, which I doubt very few got this far, think about that. When will they be happy? When is enough enough? When is enough money enough? When is enough murder enough? When is enough killing enough? For my longtime viewers, I am so sorry that we had to go down this road. But there will be no kings. Not today, not ever. And I don't care if they install him. I don't care if he wears a crown. I don't care if he sticks his little chin out, his little pot belly out, and struts around and dances around with a fairy wand as much as he wants. We all know how this is going to end, and it's not going to end well for him. I'm sorry. That's history. Until I see all of you again, please have a most blessed day. If you happen to be in Youngstown, Ohio, and you might want to run into me down there, I'll be driving around with my car emblazoned with no kings on the doors. And the American flag, because the American flag belongs to all of us. Yeah, it belongs to all of us. Not just to them, to all of us. The protest in Youngstown is at Federal Plaza, 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock. I don't know how long I'm going to be there because I'm not getting any younger. But I'll be there for quite a while, and I'll have my dog with me. So you get to see Buster. I love all of you. That's why I did this. And I know I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to pay dearly for it. YouTube's going to really screw me over because of this. So if you can do a like and a comment and a share and subscribe, I would really appreciate that. And know that I really do love all of you very much. I even love my enemies. I actually love my enemies. I just don't give up on them because sometimes they do wake up. I've helped a few. Till I see all of you again, please have a most blessed day. Bye-bye. Take care and stay safe out there. Stay safe during Pride Month. Okay? I mean it.